You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Monday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
The King is in Canada right now, which always feels so stupid to say.
Honestly.
King Charles is in Canada for the first head of the state speech from the throne since 1977.
Yeah, Parliament gets going again tomorrow. They're doing like votes for the speaker and all that stuff. And then to make it super official, Chuck's in town to, I don't know, give it his bless. I'm like doing the sign of the cross with my hands. I'm sure that's not how it works.
I'm curious because, you always see those stats about like what our government spends on travel.
Yeah.
I wonder how much they're spending to put them up in hotels and
Honestly.
the airfare and everything, and even just the transportation around.
But also, theoretically, like if we're part of the Commonwealth, should the bill not be on them?
Good point.
Not us,
Yeah.
right? Like this is like if you grow up, you move out, you get your own place, and then you pay for your parents to come over for Thanksgiving. Like, no, you foot the bill.
This is more like your in-laws coming over.
This
This is exactly what it is.
You're right. Yours is a better comparison.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I know that there's a bit of a feud brewing between Canadians and Americans, but I also know that we have American friends of the show who tune in every day to both the show and the podcast. So to them, I just want to wish a happy Memorial Day.
Oh, is that today?
Memorial Day weekend down in the States. The official start to barbecue season down in the States. Saw a stat that said that it is expected that Americans will consume 72 million hot dogs today.
Today alone?
Today alone, 72 million hot dogs from coast to coast to coast to coast.
How much toilet paper are they going to use?
So, I mean, got to imagine it's more than a square a dog, right?
Oh, my
so
God.
It probably adds
72 million, but how many people are in the States? There's like 300 million, so is that
It's
much?
I think it's between 330 and 340 last I heard.
So then the number kind of seems lower than you'd think.
It's about 1 in every 5 Americans will eat a hot dog today. Although you think about it, that includes man, woman, and child.
1 in 5, yeah.
1 in 5 is still a decent amount of Americans that are going to sack up. Although, to be fair, it's not, no American is having 1 hot dog. Some people will be eating for 2 or 3.
True.
They'll be getting their numbers.
I want to see something here. Give me a second.
Okay.
How many hot dogs do Americans consume in a year?
Yeah.
20 billion.
With a B.
20 billion.
Capital B.
It says here an estimated 7 billion hot dogs eaten between today, Memorial Day, and Labor Day.
That's right. During the barbecue weekend, the spectrum of getting out and grilling, which makes sense. Like, I think about it for myself personally. My hot dog consumption goes down significantly after my birthday. At the end of September, that's like the beginning of no hot dog
Wintertime isn't dog time, but okay, I want to try some. Sorry, I know I'm stalling here. How many hot dogs do Canadians eat a year? It says 70 hot dogs per person a year.
70 per person a year?
Nearly a billion hot dogs in retail.
And again, that's man, woman, and child.
Yeah.
That's your kids are supposedly be eating 70 hot dogs, and if they're not, that means that there's a man or a woman, there's a grown-up somewhere in this country eating their share.
I mean, I've gone to a few Looney Dog games and been able to crush like 11 or 12 dogs at a Jays game. But
We asked the question earlier on the show about what's the most dogs you've taken down in a setting. The highest I've seen is a friend of the show, Robert, says 20 in one go.
20 in one go.
He's hitting almost half of a Canadian's annual allotment of hot dogs in one sitting.
But think of if you added up all the hot dogs over your entire life, how many you've eaten?
I don't know if I could do that math. And it's not because like I'm pretty good at math, but I don't think that my self-esteem could handle the answer.
Well, if it was 70 a year, let's say it was 70 a year.
Sure, at 41 years old.
Times 41, what does that come out to? 70 times 41.
That would be like 2,800?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it'd be about 2,800, which, if I'm being honest, and I'm not proud of this, feels low.
Yeah.
2,800 hot dogs in 41 years? You're talking all the ball games, all the rink dogs, all the golf course dogs.
Costco dogs.
Birthday dogs. You're kidding me. 2,800? Rookie numbers.
That's not
at
even
my
including
age.
the hot dogs that you put in your craft dinner either.
Oh my God, didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's a good percentage of your body that is hot dog. If you think about it like that.
I don't know if that makes me more grossed out at the hot dogs or at my body.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
All right, after doing some Googling here, I have figured out that the most consumed Canadian food is French fries.
Which makes sense.
They say that the average Canadian eats about 15 pounds of French fries every single year.
And 15 might not sound like a big number, but next time you go anywhere or make yourself some French fries, weigh out the fries before you eat them. That's not a lot. Like, we'll eat a lot of fries, but they don't weigh a lot.
Yeah, you're basically eating like a toddler's worth of French fries every single year.
I don't like that as a measurement unit.
So it goes French fries is the big one.
Okay.
Bacon is up there as well. They say
Sure.
the average Canadian consumes about 18 pounds of bacon a year.
Hell yeah, we're putting it
Which
back.
that makes sense. You cook more bacon than anything when you're making breakfast.
Is that bacon or is that Canadian bacon?
Oh, it just says bacon.
I
so-
feel like that's a secondary statistic that probably brings the number even higher.
And then if you want to get into more breakfast stuff here, Canadians consume approximately 8 billion eggs a year.
8 billion eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And we just hit 40 million population-wise. So that's about 200 eggs per person.
Yeah, it says 21.4 dozen eggs per person. Which
Yeah, a little over 200.
we buy like one of those 30 packs of eggs every single week. And I
Okay.
mean, me and Courtney make breakfast. We have 2 eggs every single morning.
Splitting each? Like,
so
are you
15
splitting evenly?
eggs a week. Yeah.
15 eggs a week. Let me do some quick math here.
Times 52.
You're over 700 eggs in a year.
Oh my God.
You're almost eating the average Canadian. You're 4 Canadians when it comes to egg consumption.
That's so metal.
According to this.
That's so metal, dude.
We asked a question about, like, what do you think the most eaten food is? Somebody said pizza, so I had to look it up. Canadians consume an average of 65 pizzas per year.
Damn.
Like, each of us, according to the statistic,
I believe that.
are
yeah.
putting back 65 full pizzas annually.
I mean, how many? Everybody every Friday, every other Friday, whatever it is, you know?
For comparison's sake, just to really put that in perspective, that's 16 pounds of pizza in a year.
Mamma mia.
And then the other one that I saw a lot of people saying is like, the thing I eat the most is probably Kraft dinner. I mean, an unofficial national dish of Canada.
True.
So I found some statistics on Kraft dinner. It might blow your mind a little bit. Each week, the Kraft company sells 7 million boxes of Kraft dinner. 1.7 million of those are sold in Canada.
Damn.
We are almost a third of their weekly sales globally right here in our country.
And that's like a high percentage of just college students alone.
Honestly. Now, this stat I thought was interesting. We eat 55% more per capita than Americans, but the stat comes out to saying that Canadians eat an average of 3.2 boxes of Kraft dinner
What?
per year.
I use 2 boxes when I make Kraft dinner.
I've had 3 boxes of Kraft dinner in a week, never mind in a year.
What kind of rich people took this survey?
Apparently, there are a lot of people out there eating no Kraft dinner.
Apparently, there's a lot of you that don't know the struggle.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
In British Columbia, a woman was bitten by a dog, and she was looking for compensation, around $5,000. She was actually denied compensation after a tribunal ruled that every dog in BC is entitled to 1 bite.
Really?
Yeah, so basically they say as long as the dog doesn't have a previous record of biting anyone or anything like that,
First-time offender.
you get 1 nip. All right, as long as you're a good boy.
Does the severity count at all? Like, I get the idea of, like, hey, this dog's never done any harm, but, like, if a dog's first bite is a face ripper, then that should probably count for something.
I think they're just kind of going off of it, like if a dog bit your leg, a dog
Right.
bit your arm or something like that, and as long as that they can prove that this dog hasn't had any sort of like aggressive behavior before, then they're good.
I do like that because I feel like that takes into account that it might be the human's fault.
Well, it's like if you go to court for something or whatever, right? Like they might lower your charges a little bit if you don't have a criminal background or anything.
Right. You get a speeding ticket and the officer looks you up. He might be like, you know what? You're not a speeder. I'll let you go with a warning.
And I think we should kind of like maybe instigate a rule like this. Like you said, like with the speeding ticket or whatever, like even your insurance company, like if you get if you love tap someone, right? If you have no history of accidents or insurance claims, I think you get one.
You get one.
You get one, and the insurance company's like, we'll let it go.
Yeah. I would like to be able to hit one person with my car a year. Is that too much of an acceleration? I don't want to, like, 30...
A year seems a bit much. In your lifetime, I think you get one.
Okay, I'll take one lifetime.
I think you get one as long as you got a clean driving record.
30K or under. Like, I don't want to murder someone. I'm not some kind of
school
monster.
Zone driving kind of type stuff.
But like when I'm at the grocery store and someone's walking their cart back to the corral right in the middle of the roadway, I think I should be able to just give them a little bit of a bump.
Well, in general, if you want to talk about that, I think if you have a clean, like, bill of health, basically with no assault charges or anything like that,
okay,
I think you get one slap in the back of the head to someone a year.
That one I think annually makes a lot of sense.
I think that's something we could all get behind.
You have to present paperwork afterwards when the person turns around and is like, yo, what the hell? And you're like, you were my one.
They can call the cops on you and you stay and you go, look me up. I'm good. I haven't got my one this year.
Dude, imagine December 31st. You're nearing New Year's Eve and you're just like, I got to hit somebody.
We all get a little punch card. Yeah. All right. And then when the cops show up, they click it and they're like, all right, you're done. You're over your quota, man.
If I see you again this calendar year, it's going to be big trouble for you, young man.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
A lot of people saying you should be able to punch one coworker a year. Someone else said you get one shut up to say to someone else's kid.
I want to go to the coworker punching thing. I don't think enough people are considering that they would be the coworker for other people.
This is true.
I would love to hit somebody. I don't want to get punched.
Someone else said you get one reply all a year.
Dude, lifetime. Just shut it down.
One a life.
You get what? Every reply all should have to be justified by a counsel, and if you're found in guilty, you're out.
I do like this one. One person said one free public urination a year.
Ooh, okay.
How many times you got to go to the bathroom and you're like, oh, God.
Right. And then people, you're like, they're judging you, they're worrying. You just wave your, I got one.
The only rule is no kids going to be around. No school zones, anything like that, right?
I think that's perfectly reasonable.
We do have friend of the show, Neil, on the phone. Like the every dog gets one bite rule. What would your rule be?
You should be able to kiss another woman.
Neil, you in a relationship, brother?
I sure trying.
So you think once a year you should be able to just get away with one smooch?
Well, yeah, you can't go any further than that. Then it's cheating.
What do you think the odds are that your current missus says, yeah, go for it?
She gave me the green light already.
Wow.
Pretty cool,
Halle
man.
Berry?
Pretty cool.
She said if you ever met Halle Berry, you can kiss her all you want.
Oh, so she said no then. That's
No, she said I can kiss Halle Berry.
My brother, I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
I thank you.
Hey, well, if you're looking for another woman to kiss, you always got grandma, dude.
She's not Halle Berry.
Be pretty cool if your grandma was Halle Berry, though.
It would be.
Not the way he's talking about it.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What the hell did you just...
What the is that song?
What did he... All right, What the Meow is back, but this time, because we're still doing the World Tour contest, it is What the Meow Aussie edition, and we've got $100 in Lotto Max tickets for tomorrow night's jackpot.
$10 million jackpot. Somebody won it on Friday, so it's reset, but it's not like $10 million wouldn't change your life, and you can get $100 in tickets by being our What the Meow winner today by guessing the song that we're meowing.
So you do need to tell us if it's an Aussie song or a Black Sabbath song, and you need to get the title right, okay?
Still, narrowing it down to one of two options for the artist makes this maybe the easiest, actually by far the easiest What the Meow we've ever done.
We've got 3 callers on the line right now. If they all fail, we'll reopen up the phone lines and take more callers, but we start on line 1 here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Luke.
Luke, Brock or Dalby for the meow?
I'm going to go with Dalby.
All right. Meow, 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 meow.
What the meow is that song?
War Pick by Ozzy Osbourne.
See, this is what I like. It's just take a stab at it, even if you have no idea what it is. That's good.
Take care.
To be fair, I Googled Ozzy Osbourne songs.
He's just looking at Google.
Just a list.
I may do a shot in the dark.
Take care, buddy. All right, we go to line 2. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Chris.
Chris, Brock, or Dolby for the meow?
Gonna go with you, man.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Meow, 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 meow.
Over the mountain, Ozzy.
No, that was a
Take care.
giveaway.
That was a giveaway, too.
I was like, man, that's too early for too easy.
Caller number 3, what's your name?
Hey, it's Tim.
Tim, Brock, or Dolby for the meow?
I think I got it, but let's try Dolby again.
Meow, 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 meow.
Mr. Crowley.
Who sings it, though?
Ozzy Osbourne.
There you
Ozzy
go, there you go.
Osbourne. Well done, sir.
You get the ding and the round of applause and
Yeah.
$100 in Lotto Max tickets. All right, my man?
Beauty.
If you do happen to win the big jackpot tomorrow night, some nickels and dimes for the fellas, or would you take us to that final show at least?
Absolutely. We'll find a way to get there for sure.
The Brock and Dolby Podcast. You know those BuzzFeed quizzes that are so much fun? Yeah, that's not what this is. It's the quiz with Brock and Dolby.
It's been a few weeks since we've had a quiz here on the show.
It's been nice. It's been some nice time off.
With your vacation and, of course, the holiday last week. But we are back, and today's theme for the quiz is songs with an acronym in the title. So, as always, I will give you a band.
Okay.
And then give me the song that has an acronym in the title. All right?
I think I've got a few locked in.
Very easy one to kick off here. When I say the Village People, you would say.
YMCA.
There you go. One for one here. When I say System of a Down, you would say.
BYOB.
There you go.
Bring your own bangers.
Everyone would have been SMHing you if you had got that wrong. All right, next one here. When I say the Foo Fighters, you would say.
DOA.
There you go.
Yeah. We are rapidly running out of the ones that I thought of.
IMO, you're doing great. All right, next one here. When I say the Glorious Sons, you would say.
SOS.
Which, fun fact, the initial title of the song was Sawed Off Shotgun.
Yeah, they only turned it into an acronym.
Because radio stations said they weren't going to play it.
We don't want to play Sawed Off Shotgun.
Yeah.
Bunch of wusses.
Too IRL for some radio stations.
And the Glorious Sons were all like, IDGAF.
Well played.
Thank you.
All right, next one here. When I say corn, you would say.
Oh.
Do you not know this one?
Corn. Is it Adidas? Yeah! You know what I was getting confused with in my head was Wu-Tang Clan.
Cream,
yeah.
I was worried you were going to give me an IDK there.
No.
All right,
I had it.
final one here for all the marbles.
Okay.
It's an easy one. When I say AC/DC, you would say.
TNT?
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, that's the only one they've got.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't think you'd make it so easy in the end. Wow!
Congratulations.
Hell yeah!
Beautiful stuff, my man.
Holy hell, man.
That's a WIN right there.
That's FTW, baby. For the win.
Congratulations, my man. 100%.
Thank you. What a way to come back off of 2 weeks off. Here's what we're going to do. No quiz for the next 2 weeks.
No, I think we need to do the next quiz ASAP.
The Brock and Dolby Podcast.
As it turns out, all your brain is really craving right now is some peace and quiet.
Yeah, most of the time.
I found a new survey. It's actually from a little bit ago, but it's just sort of being brought to light now, where researchers and studiers and scientists have said that 2 hours of what they call accumulated quiet. So basically, in the span of your day from wake up to go to sleep, if you can add up about 2 hours worth of quiet, no distractions, no screens, no kids, no talking, no yelling, no music, no nothing, your brain will actually start to, after a few days, rewire itself and repair things like your memory.
Now, that makes sense, but the real question is, where the hell do you get 2 hours of peace and quiet?
This study was not meant for anybody with kids. Tell you that right now. I don't know if I get 2 hours of accumulated quiet in the run of a week.
Just in general, even if you don't have kids, where do you legit go for pure silence?
That's just it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, this doesn't have to be like, plug your ears, you can't hear anything. Like nature sounds or just sort of the regular quiet sounds of life are okay, but like no stimuli, no TV, no music, no movies, no brain rot, no conversation.
But even there's times when I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for a walk in the park or the forest, whatever it is. And then I hear that like, and I'm like, how is nature supposed to be peace and quiet, dude?
That's true. Science did not specify whether or not birds yelling in your ear for 24 hours would help or not.
What do? Lock yourself in the car like a dog? Like,
You gotta leave the window down just a little bit.
You can't even have the AC on if you want the peace and quiet.
Honestly, like, and that's the thing, right? Is like life is just so full of these little noises. And I mean, even we'll go to sleep with fans on just because we can't handle the silence. So even what are you supposed to do there? Now I'm either being told by science that I have to find 2 hours of quiet in my day so my memory can get better. But if I do that, I have to deal with the voices and the consequences of the silence.
Like, what are you supposed to do? Just go, like, sit in a church during the day? Like,
Imagine the preacher comes out. Can I help you, sir? I'm just trying to find some quiet, Padre.
The only place that I can think of that has pure quiet is, like, the hole in prison.
Commit a crime. Ask to be locked up for 2 hours a day by yourself.
The government took that away, too. You legally can't put people in the hole either.
Oh, my God, that's right. Silence is a commodity.
Silence isn't real. Simon and Garfunkel lied to us.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Have you ever learned how to do something via the internet? And I don't mean like a website or Wikipedia, like watching like YouTube or anything like that.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I learn how to tie a tie every time I forget how to tie a tie when I have to do something.
That's a great example. Apparently, the younger generation, and I say that as I'm 41, you're 30, younger than us, YouTube takes too long. They're not learning from YouTube anymore. Apparently, they are going to TikTok and Instagram to a lesser extent for short-form video tutorials on life skills.
Please tell me there's a list of the things that they're trying to look up.
Oh, I have the top 30.
I knew there was going to be a list.
That they're trying to look up. And I mean, some of them make a lot of sense, right? Some of this like gaming tips for their games, dance routines and makeup. I would expect that
you know what? The
there.
gaming one is something smart too. How many times you get stuck on a level when you were a kid?
Oh, dude, I mean, I'm from the generation where you went to the store and bought a physical book full of tips and tricks.
Either that or you waited till your buddy could come over and beat the game for you.
That was another. If you had a big brother, if you were lucky. Cooking is another one. Lot of recipes.
I've done that on YouTube tons of times, yeah.
Then it gets a little bit more interesting. People are using TikTok. Some users on TikTok are teaching foreign languages.
Okay.
So using it to learn like French, Japanese, that sort of thing. Learning a musical instrument, getting ideas for painting, CPR. CPR is on the list. Actually, CPR is on the list twice. Because in this survey where they pulled 500 teens, as well as their parents, many people said that they use TikTok to learn how to do CPR on both people and dogs.
It is a funny idea that like someone could be dying before you and you're like, 1 second, let
Hold
me just...
up. The person you're having dinner with at the restaurant is like...
The first thing you hear before it goes, now watch me whip, watch me nay. And you're like, oh, sorry.
I just think there's got to be a line because like I'm all for it. It's honestly the best case scenario if we're going to use these social media apps to educate ourselves, to better ourselves, learning things like they talk about meditation and breathing techniques. Great. That's fantastic. But I think there are some things that we shouldn't be learning on short-form social media videos, and I think CPR's got to be one of them.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, if you think about it, it's like, what's the difference between YouTube and TikTok, right? It's just a different thing now, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's just, for me, it's purely like the length and the pacing. Like you put on a video on TikTok, if you scroll TikTok, it's very fast-paced. It's all very quick, short-form content. If I'm going to learn CPR... maybe in the moment, like you said, if someone's choking, I want it as fast as possible. But if I'm going to the internet to learn how to save someone's life, I want to sit down with like a 20, 30-minute video and get the actual tips.
Sure, but then again, there's people that watch 20, 30-minute videos on how to do electrical work at their house, and then they end up starting a fire.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You want to check out some good, like not necessarily how-to videos, but the guy debunks or finds things that he life hacks in his garage. His name's Sean Umsheed. It's called The What No Way Guy.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
seen that.
that guy.
Never knew his name, but as soon as you said, what? No way.
Fuck's sake.
That guy's the best, man.
Yeah, he's good. Very, very good.
Favorite one that we got, 762-555, is during the pandemic, I used YouTube to try and learn how to cut my hair.
Oh, man.
And I feel like the word try is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Yeah, you're probably not the only one during 2020 who did that.
It was that, and a lot of people, I remember, were using the internet to learn how to bake bread.
Yeah.
Which I've done that. I have a couple of YouTube videos that every now and again I will, on a weekend, use to, like, I'll open up on my phone and follow along to bake some bread.
But then a lot of people are like Marty on the text line who's like, I just learned how to swipe out my wife's car battery from her Civic on YouTube. And it's like, I mean, it's not all bad stuff because like literally you can learn any sort of skill or trade you can learn on the internet. Now, will you be able to do it as well as them? That's the biggest thing.
Right, well, yeah, I don't think, obviously, apprenticeships and all these other training programs exist for a reason. If you could just watch a YouTube video and charge people for it, more people would.
The real question is, are you ready to void your warranty, you know? Like,
I am much more willing to try and repair my own stuff if it's past the warranty stage. Otherwise, just call a professional. It does make me think, though, of like, I've had dishwashers that have needed work or whatever. My washing machine, I was acting up and I was like on YouTube trying to fix it at once. And I wonder if I would have to watch as much YouTube as I do if my dad had stuck around.
There's actually, it's funny you say that. There is a YouTube page I've seen before where it's some guy who basically, I'll teach you all the stuff that your dad never taught you.
Yeah.
Have you seen that guy before?
Yeah, it'll be like from everything as basic as like, here's how to change a tire to some like more like woodworking and DIY stuff. I follow a couple of those. They're nice. One, you learn how to do some pretty cool stuff. And two, those guys usually end the video with like a keep it up, champ.
Yeah.
And for those of us dadless out there, it's a nice little bonus.
You know what you could do is you could probably get a ton of videos where it's like, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Just look at the camera like, you're doing great, kid.
Dude, I'm going to start a new TikTok channel that's just me giving you all the dad praise you never got as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a millionaire.
Hey, man, if Dominatrix can do it, you can do it too.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast. Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is smolder. Yep, smolder. 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 And it's to burn without flame or a large amount of smoke. Or it's to show suppressed anger, hate, jealousy, or desire. I've been known to, I guess, smolder once or twice. I guess. Anyways, that just about does it. Have a great one. Cheers up.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody smolders. You got that guy at work that pisses you off and you never said anything to him. You're probably smoldering.
I think every work has that one guy he's been here too long. He's not happy. When he goes home, things are not any better. And he's just walking around smoldering all day. Everybody knows he's one incident away from an eruption.
But I also do like how he said the burn slowly with smoke but no flame. So kind of like those weed pens. I'm gonna start. If I ever see anyone using those, I'd be like, "You're smoldering today."
Yeah, smoldering this afternoon. That's good for you.
No
right?
flame, but lots of smoke. Smolder, smolder, smolder. Use it wherever you can. All right.
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby Podcast.